Welcome to the Expander podcast with myself, Sarah-Louise Sutton. I am an intuitive energy healer, channel, Reiki teacher, coach, and mentor, and founder of the Inspirit School of Energy, here to help you on your spiritual journey, to up-level your vibration, to activate your soul and purpose, and ultimately elevate your life and business. It is my intention that through myself and special guests, talking about all things intuition, guidance, channeling, manifesting, healing, and energetics, that you get expanded, you feel inspired, and you receive a giant hug for your soul. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and it is from my heart to yours that I am sending you so much love. Hello, welcome back to the Expander podcast, and I have a guest episode for you today. So I'm very excited about this. It has been a while, it really has been a while since I had a guest on the podcast, and honestly, Rachel, who I'm speaking to today, is worth the wait. So today I'm speaking to Rachel from Cosmic Queen, and she is an astrologer, she is a human design queen, an identity coach, and her work is really all centered around helping you to step into your most authentic self and express that and share that with the world and step into alignment with that. So I'm obsessed with the work that she is doing, and it is all done through this lens of astrology and human design and understanding yourself. And she also is the founder of the Cosmic Coach Academy as well. So she also teaches astrology. If that is also something that you wanted to do, honestly, I can only imagine what this course would be like. And she's also a mum, and I honestly have no idea how she does it all. Because she is always showing up on social media with so much and gives so much wisdom. If you are not already following her, I could not recommend it more. And I just honestly have no idea how she does everything. So she is an absolute inspiration. And I guess this is just the beautiful example of how when you're doing work that you're meant to be doing and that lights you up and is literally what you came here to do, it fuels you, because that is the only explanation. So in this episode, we are diving into the Midheaven placement in your birth chart and how that correlates to your magnetism, how you can start stepping into your most magnetic self by working with this placement. And we also touch on some others as well. So this is an amazing episode. Honestly, she shares so much. I'm so obsessed. I can't wait to share it. So let's get into it straight away. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm honestly so excited to have you speak about like the Midheaven and magnetism, because like I was just saying to you before, it's had such an impact on me and kind of how I show up, and how you specifically talk about it is just really, really great. So I'm very excited for this episode.
I love hearing that. It just makes my day to hear that people are finding value even in just like starting to look at this placement, starting to look at this compared to maybe their brand or their business, because it's real. Like the way I do astrology and human design, in my business coaching and life coaching, is that I want it to be practical. Like I want this to be hands-on. It makes sense. You can utilize it in real ways, not just kind of conceptually thinking about ourselves and our identity, but like really living it. So that just makes my day that you have found this useful. Yeah.
And it's actually true you say that. I think that is what you've brought to it that was unique, was how to then implement that and what that might look like versus just like kind of what you said, being about information about yourself. So I think that's what you bring to it that's different, which is really beautiful.
You. No, thank you so much. Yeah, like with astrology, I think a lot of like astrology in the past is kind of traditionally more just like, yeah, here's some information about yourself, or it's making fun of, which, I can laugh too. I can take a joke about Libras. Like I'm a Libra, they always love to put Libras at the butt of the joke. I get it. But but that's not really useful, because all that's doing is highlighting like the low expression or the shadow side.
That's
and
true.
It's not telling you like, yeah, but what's Libra at its best? What's Sagittarius at its best? What's Pisces at its best? And this is why I love the midheaven so much, because it's leadership energy. So
Mm,
it's very different from your moon sign, very different from your rising sign, very different from all the other placements. It's meant to be public. Like
mm-hmm.
it's the most public part of the chart, the
Interesting.
astrology chart. And so of course for entrepreneurs like us, or people
Yeah.
who want to be seen and to get their work out there, working with the midheaven is just the place. It's the thing to do. It's the thing to do.
Yeah, I was actually, one of my first questions I was going to ask you is, why is it important to your magnetism?
Yes.
you,
No, great
you just
question.
nailed
I'll
it.
nailed it. Tick. But yeah, I'll dive into it a little bit more for people who are kind of interested in more of the astrology side of it as well. So the midheaven is one of four angles in the chart. And I am obsessed with the four angles. Like it was not one of the first things I learned about astrology. Like when we learn astrology, we learn sun, moon, rising, maybe we learn our Venus sign if we're looking for love,
Yeah.
things like this. And those are all really important, but I wish that I'd learned about the midheaven sooner. And
Mm.
when I did, there was only one other astrologer that I found online who was talking about it. And I was fascinated. I was like, wait, oh what? Why aren't more people talking about this? So yeah, so the angles are where it's at. And everyone has four angles. You have the rising, which is always opposite the descendant. The
Okay.
rising sign is about your relationship with yourself. Your descendant is about your relationship with other people. Very important parts of the chart. And then we have the midheaven and the IC. The IC is about what you need to feel safe privately. It's like about inner stability and safety. And it's very connected to family and home.
Mm-hmm.
And then the midheaven is the opposite of that. It's always the opposite sign. And it's all about career and being outside the house, outside of your family, interacting with the public.
Yeah. Oh, I've never
Mhm.
even heard of this cross four
Yeah.
thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's
know.
so
It's like
interesting.
I don't know
That's what
why
I
more
mean. I
people
love how you talk about
don't
it.
I know. I don't know why more people don't talk about it. Like when I was, we were briefly talking before this about like last year, I did some work with Fendi, the fashion brand.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I thought was amazing, like for the first time I worked with them twice. The first time I worked with them, I ended up doing like 100 readings in like 3 days. It was absolutely insane. And for each reading for their VIP customers, I didn't have time to prepare because we didn't have the birth details for everyone ahead of time.
Right.
And so that meant that literally the person sits down in front of me, tells me their birth date, I type it into my computer, and
Yeah.
I see the chart and I start talking. And so when you do that kind of rapid fire interpretation and synthesis of astrology, you have to you have to kind of have a bit of a plan and a project because you don't have time to sit and stare at their chart for an hour
Yeah, I'd
to
imagine you
figure
need to stick to just a few things to
stick
focus
to a
on.
few things
Yeah.
that you think are going to be really powerful depending on what they're interested in. And I always talked about the angles because the angles in our chart, and they are tension because they're opposite signs. So we have this inherent tension within us. Anyone
Yeah.
who's listening to this podcast, who's always felt like, kind of pulled in two different directions, internally, like, oh, I could be this or I could be this. That's natural. We all have, at least we all have three different oppositions in our chart because we have the nodes as well. But the angles are these oppositions. But that tension brings, creativity, and it makes us who we are. And
Yeah.
if you look at what elements and what signs and what modality or modes, excuse me, each one of the four angles are in your own personal chart, you will see the major themes of your life. Like major life
Wow.
themes are there. So
Interesting.
I'll use myself as an example. Like I have all four mutable signs as my angles. So I have a Pisces rising, Virgo descendant, then I have Gemini IC, and a Sagittarius midheaven. And so those are the four mutable signs in astrology. Mutable signs are all about change,
Mm-hmm.
flexibility, transformation, and also about self-expression and communication. And so, of course, I am a life coach that helps people to make changes in their life related to how they express themselves and their identity.
Oh my God,
Duh.
I love it. Yeah, and also you're so great at that as well, on top
Thank
of
you.
that. You're not forcing it. It's clearly a
Yeah.
natural ability for you.
Yeah. It's not like I kind of, Googled like best careers and then picked, like the most lucrative one. Yeah, it was not a logical thing. It was like a heart thing. It was a
Yeah.
soul thing. And I think anyone who's looking at, to understand more of their like path and kind of what they're here for, I think looking at the angles can be a beautiful place to start.
Oh my God, I love this. Okay. Maybe we'll come back to this if there's time, but Midheaven.
Yes, yes.
So, I mean, if you're listening and you don't already have your chart with you, I feel like this is a great time to get your
Yes.
chart
Pull
to
up your
find out,
chart.
yeah, to find
Yeah.
out what your midhaven is in so that you
Mhm.
can actually kind of get the most from.
Definitely. And
Um,
I always recommend astro.com. It's kind of like
okay,
a 1990s style website, but it is really accurate.
okay.
It looks old school, but it's the software is very accurate. That's a lot of people prefer that one for the
I'll
accuracy.
put that in the show notes then.
It is free. Yeah, so it's free.
Okay.
So I recommend that people go there, extend and just put in their birth details. You really need to know the exact time if you're going to look at angles. You have to know the exact time.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
you'll see there will be a black arrow. So you're going to see a circle chart. There will be a black arrow between the ninth and the 10th house. That arrow is pointing to the sign that is your midheaven. And it might also say the letters MC, which means medium coeli, which is the middle of the sky or the top of the sky. So if you see that, that's your midheaven. So pay attention to, what sign is it in and what is the element of the sign. And then you have your leadership energy, or your leadership. You can reveal your leadership style by learning about your midheaven sign. The midheaven, I mentioned that it's about career and leadership
Mm-hmm.
style, but it's more than that. It's also about your reputation. So it's how you
Okay.
are perceived publicly. It's not saying that this is all of you, like the chart is very complex. You have lots of different sides of your personality. So it's
Yeah.
not saying it's all of you, but it's the part of you that the public sees the best, the clearest, and that they want from you. And so it is absolutely, as you said, about magnetism. If
Yeah.
you want to amplify your magnetism, turn up the dial of your midheaven energy intentionally. You're
Mm.
already doing it subconsciously, but you want to turn it up intentionally, and it's going to have a great effect.
Okay, love this. So yeah, great time now to get your chart, find out what yours is. Um, and are you able to share a little bit about each one just briefly so
Sure.
that someone can have a good idea of whatever
Ooh,
theirs
yes, yes.
is?
So
Thank
I
you.
also have to mention I have a free ebook where you can get a little more detail than what I'm going to say right now
Yeah. Okay.
about each of the signs. So that's a great starting point. You can just check it out on, Cosmic Queen HQ, my social media, or my
I'll put a
website.
link in the show
Yeah, well,
notes
awesome.
for
But
that.
yeah, I would love to say something about, I love doing like off the cuff kind of riffs on them. So why don't I go through each one and just talk about like I'll just mention like a one word or a couple words major theme of
Yes,
that leadership style.
love
And
that.
I can mention the archetype name as well. So I'm in the process of trademarking. I
Mhm.
developed these archetypes for the midheaven to make it more understandable. Because if you just say Cancer midheaven, it's like unless you deeply understand Cancer leadership energy, which is different from Cancer relationship energy. If you understand Cancer
Mm.
leadership energy, like you may be confused, right? So I created these archetype names to kind of give them more of a personality persona and
Oh
make
my
it
God, I
easy
love this.
to embody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Aries is the maverick.
Oh,
And so we start with Aries because Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. So Aries is the maverick, and the theme here is, breaking the rules
mhm.
and blazing new trails. Then
Love.
we have, yes, love it so much. Then we have, so I'll go through all of them and then we can go back and touch on anything. Then we have Taurus. So Taurus is the guardian. And I love that, like, I don't have any notes or anything, so I'm just gonna like
I'm
remember,
in awe.
but I know it like the back of my hand. So, but hopefully I don't miss any signs. One time I did this and I missed a Virgo, so we're not missing Virgo today. Um, Virgos are like, hello.
I'll keep note. Okay, we're on Taurus. I'll
Yeah,
keep note
we're
here.
on
We'll do
Taurus. So
that.
I'm just laughing to myself because my brain is going like 10 steps ahead. Okay. So Taurus is the guardian, and the guardian's all about reliability and trust.
Mm,
Then we have Gemini. Gemini is the influencer. So it's all about sharing and communicating new ideas. And then we have Cancer, which is the gatherer. The gatherer is all about building community and belonging. Then we have Leo. Leo is the MC. When I say the MC, I mean the master of ceremonies, like at a party, right?
mm-hmm,
They are all about playfulness and courage.
mm-hmm.
Then we have Virgo. Virgo, the
We got you,
curator.
Virgos.
We love you so much. It's so ironic because most of my clients have Virgo midheaven, which is just like crazy.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And so I was
Oh,
like, oh,
how
I've talked about it enough.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It makes sense because it's my descendant. You always attract a lot of your descendant energy. You attract.
Oh, so interesting.
Yeah. So we could talk about that with you as well.
Yes.
So you may have a lot of people with strong Aries in your life. Mm.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've got a lot of Virgo. Anyway, okay, so Virgo is the curator, and the energy here is about problem solving
Mm.
and being practical.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Libra. Libra midheaven is the diplomat, and so the energy here is about relationships and fairness as well,
Mm-hmm.
and balance and harmony and all these things. Then we have Scorpio. Scorpio midheaven is the strategist. I have had so many Scorpio midheavens coming into my life recently. Very exciting. I love it.
Ooh.
Scorpio midheaven, the strategist. It's all about depth and emotional vulnerability. That's really important.
Mm.
But I call it the strategist. There's so many, it's very deep. There's lots of aspects of Scorpio. I call it the strategist because they're also very good at like knowing what's really going on below the surface, strategizing
Mm.
accordingly.
Okay, love that.
Then we have Sagittarius midheaven, which is me, the
Yay.
guide. And this
Oh, wait,
energy is
what did you say? The guide.
the guide. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Yes, I love that for me
Mm.
as well. No, it's great.
Can we swap? Can I get
Yeah,
a
yeah,
refund on
no. Oh my
mine?
God, I wish I was yours. We'll reveal yours in a minute. It's so good.
I
So
want
good.
a refund.
I want a refund. I want a new incarnation. So yeah, so Sagittarius midheaven is the guide, and this energy is all about exploration and then teaching. And then
Mm.
we have, yeah, and then we have Capricorn midheaven, which is the pioneer. This is all about perseverance and building a legacy. There's this big thing around like empire, legacy, ambition. And then we have Aquarius, Aquarius midheaven. We just finished Aquarius season. Aquarius midheaven is the innovator. And so it is what it sounds like. It's all about innovation
Yeah.
and doing things differently for the community. Then we have the last but not least, Pisces midheaven. We are now in Pisces season. Shout out to all of our, yeah,
Nice.
all of our water midheavens, especially Pisces. So Pisces is the visionary, and the themes here are about kindness and creativity and vision.
Oh, beautiful. We love a
Yeah.
Pisces.
Oh, we love the Pisces. Pisces midheaven energy is so magnetic. It's so, I mean, they all are, but like, I love the artisticness of Pisces midheaven.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love all of these. Also, I love that you nailed all 12 and you
Yeah.
don't have any notes in front of you. I'm literally watching you.
No, I mean, I do know what I'm talking about.
You really do.
I had someone recently say this. I forget what I was doing, but they were like, "How did you do that?" I think I was like teaching a workshop or something. I was like, "Well, I am an expert.
It's
I
what I
do
do.
know, I do know what I'm talking. I could not call myself Cosmic Queen if I didn't know the order of the sign."
It's true. Well, so with everything that you just shared, is it like this aim for people then that whatever their midhaven is to kind of embrace that side of them like publicly? Is that what you're kind of saying?
Definitely. Yeah. So, I mean, as an entrepreneur, I'd be thinking about my branding. I'd be thinking
Mm,
about my marketing. I'd be thinking about what my signature offers are and how I communicate about them. Mhm. I'd be thinking about, my tone, my vibe, how people perceive me. And
Hmm.
to a certain extent, we can never control how people perceive us. But then again, to a certain extent, we can put out a certain brand.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
something about branding that can be very powerful, and you're choosing in branding, what you're doing is you're choosing to amplify a certain aspect of yourself and your work.
Yeah.
And brands can change. Like we see it all the time. Like, we see, Taylor Swift talking about eras, right? Like what
Yeah.
era are we in? And so I think that if you are wanting to attract people to your work, like be in your midheaven era and figure out
Mm.
how to embody that in your own way, in a way that feels authentic to you. It's not that you're playing a part, it's just you're amplifying that part
Yeah.
of yourself that's always existed
Yeah. Or like, I guess choosing that side of you to express more than maybe other sides of you.
in your work. Yeah.
Yeah.
In your
Yeah.
career and your work. Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, I love that. Would you be able to just pick any example like you can use yourself, or another one that's easy to go through of like how that might look, let's say for someone that was starting to show up on social media um in their work, or what it is that they're wanting to do? Like, is
Yeah.
there an example that's quite easy to kind of explain
Yeah.
a bit more?
Yes, I have a lot of celebrity examples, and
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
I was
love
thinking
this.
maybe that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? So, one of the first celebrity examples, and actually, this example I got from another astrologer, but I love this one, and it makes so much sense and so accurate, would be Katy Perry. So, I don't know if you've heard me talk about her before, but yeah, Katy Perry is an example of a Leo midheaven
Oh
and
God.
a Scorpio rising. And I have a course on this, so called Midheaven Magnetism. I talk about the difference between the midheaven and the rising sign. Often what happens is we really connect to our rising sign, and we don't connect as much. Yeah, I know.
I
She
just put
raised
my
her
hand
hand.
up. I just put my hand up, by the way, if you're just listening, because I am a Leo midhaven,
Yeah,
which is why I had
yeah.
that response to the Leo midhaven.
This is just it's just one of my favorite examples to give. So yeah, so she's midheaven, and I like to talk about Rihanna as well, but we can get to that as well. But so Katy Perry, Leo, midheaven, Scorpio rising. And so what you notice is that what we love to see from her, what she became famous for, what her reputation was in the beginning of her career in the I Kissed a Girl days, right?
Yeah,
It was so Leo. So Leo. Like she has
yeah,
that song Firework, pure Leo. Like
yeah,
it's like a love song to Leo.
yeah.
All of these,
I need to put that
yeah,
on a playlist. Give me the energy of it.
yes, yes, I know. I need to make a Spotify playlist. I've talked about this in my membership. Like, we need to make a playlist by sign.
Oh my God, that's so true. Such a good idea.
Yeah, it would be so fun, but this would definitely be Leo playlist. So yeah, we love to see that. We love it when she's playful, when she has crazy, big, bright costumes, when she is larger than life, when she's singing about, having fun, but also being courageous. And she's very much kind of like, yes, in the spotlight.
Mm,
And there's just a Leo-ness to it. It's so
yeah.
fun. And then like she made an album that was very Scorpio. I don't even remember the name of it, but
Mhm.
it has like a big eye on the front. It just is very dark and gritty and Scorpio. And, and we
Amazing.
love Scorpio, but this
Yeah.
is not what we want from her. And so
Right.
it's an interesting example of like when someone is wants to express another side of themselves, but it
Yeah.
doesn't quite resonate with people. And
Mm,
you could look at that and say, oh, that was a huge mistake, or like, and the album didn't do very well and stuff. You could say, oh, that's a huge mistake, and like, or people don't want this side of me, and make it all dramatic and personal. But
yeah.
actually, it's just that like in your work, the frequency that people can hear you is your midheaven, and we
Interesting.
love to see it and to receive it as an audience.
Yeah.
And so if you're wanting to grow, then yeah, go for like her first album would not, if that was her first album, it wouldn't have done very well, right? And
Interesting.
maybe
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
have
yeah.
taken her a lot longer. It would have been a lot more difficult to become famous and successful.
Yeah.
But she tapped into that Leo energy. So this is an example of where kind of like, of course, there are different aspects of people. Of course, there are all these different sides of us, but the midheaven is really, yeah, is really where it's at. It's very cool.
Interesting. So with the rising, so do you feel like it's the midhaven and rising that are two big personality kind of?
Clashes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they form a square. So in
Ah, okay.
astrology, when you have a 90-degree a square,
Yeah.
like it is tension and it's these two things that are fighting each other.
Okay.
So like in my I have got an astrology course called The Star, which is on demand. And in that course, I talk about the different aspects. And for this one, I talk about it being like fighters, like boxing gloves on. And so even though these are two aspects of yourself, they are in tension. And so and they don't always complement each other.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how that might show up, in your social media.
Yeah, interesting. Because, like we
Yeah.
were saying before we were recording, like my midhaven is Leo, but my rising is Libra.
Libra.
And I
Mhm.
definitely feel more Libra. I want to be all Libra-y. I want to just I just
Yes.
want to be a Libra.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And, yeah,
I love Libra energy. Yeah, I am a
yeah,
Libra.
me
I love it.
too.
Mhm.
And then when I found out I had a Leo midhaven, like obviously there's a part of me that resonates because I think there's always a part that knows. And when I
Yeah.
reflect back
Yeah.
on even like my most not necessarily successful moments in business, but
Mm.
easeful success, like the kind of
Ah,
success that you attract, it was
yes.
absolutely when I was being more Leo than
Wow.
Libra.
Yeah. I
And
love
that's
hearing
why I
this.
was like, oh, I
Mhm.
can actually really tell that this is true.
Like
Even
maybe
though
this,
I hate it. Like there's a part
maybe,
of me
yeah.
that I just want to
Maybe this
be
is
Libra,
true.
but
Yeah,
but I
it's
can
just so
really
funny.
feel that, that there's that opposition of the two different energies. But yeah, I can just looking at my history and my past, I know that when I'm more Libra and more being seen and more out there versus hiding behind, in a nice
Yeah.
comfort zone.
Comfort zone. Yes. Yes.
That
Mhm.
is when that more easeful success, not necessarily
Yeah.
success like we can obviously hustle and get it, but that more just magnetic success. There's
Oh, I
definitely
love
a
that.
big correlation.
A correlation. That is, well, that's a testimonial right there for Midheaven.
It is. It really
Oh,
is.
yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, I'm Pisces rising, and I would love nothing more to just like share my spoken word poetry all day and, like and
I
just kind of,
love
yeah.
that.
And I do that once in a while. Like, I will bring in some of that side, but it's not like the dreamer in me, the imaginative side of me, is important. But
Mm,
honest, and also I have Jupiter in Pisces, and so that is definitely
okay.
part of the leadership energy still. But when I am more in that kind of like, let's go find out, let's explore, let's like and I'm more in that kind of teacher mode, that
Yeah.
fiery mode as opposed to watery mode.
Yeah.
That's when I attract more, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't it so interesting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
And so you
feel
want to,
go
oh
on,
no,
sorry.
I was just going to say, just for anyone listening, like you really want to lean in and tap into and build your confidence in that side of yourself, the midheaven side
Mm,
of yourself, because it's already operating, it's already there.
yeah.
Chances are you just need to be more forward about it and really infuse that into your brand. Look at your brand. Does it look more, you know, Pisces, or does it look more Sagittarius, whatever your two signs
Yeah.
are? Yeah, and that's really important.
And what I was going to ask was, do you feel like the midhaven is always outside your comfort zone a bit? Does it always feel a bit of a stretch for most people? Have you found that?
That's not, I don't necessarily think I would put it in those words. I would say that definitely that the rising sign is a comfort zone,
Okay.
because it's something you're more familiar with and you're more aware of.
Okay.
And I would say that the midheaven is you're less aware of it. So it's not necessarily that it's not your comfort zone, it's that you're less aware of it and maybe therefore less like sure of yourself there and
Mm.
sure of what to do. And so when we're not sure of ourselves, that's when we tend to overthink things, right? And
So
that's
true.
what
So
that's
true.
what, yeah, so we tend to overthink things and the doubt comes in and we're like, I'm not good enough or whatever, or there's other people that do this better, when it is a natural zone of genius for
Mm.
everyone. The midheaven is a natural zone of genius, but sometimes we overthink it.
Classic.
Classic human.
Yeah, no, and I can also I can really resonate with that as well. Whereas yeah, like the rising, not so much, definitely not.
Yeah, the rising. I
Comfortable
love the rising sign. There's if people go to the link in my bio on Instagram or TikTok, there is a magazine article that I wrote a year and a half ago, I wanted, or maybe a couple years ago, that is about the rising sign versus the midheaven and how the rising sign like reveals our motivation. And so we are very connected personally, deeply to the rising sign. And it's what kind of gets us out there, like outside of our comfort zone, out there in life. So Libra rising, I would say they're very motivated by relationships
Mm-hmm.
and and also a sense of justice. So like if so the thing that's going to like propel you at different kind of crucial moments in life is either going to be relationship related,
Mm-hmm.
or it's like I need to create harmony, or I need to find a partner, I need to da 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 da, whatever
Yeah,
with relationships, or it's going to be I need to right this wrong, I need to bring more fairness and justice
yeah,
here. Yeah.
yeah. I can also relate to that massively.
Yeah. Nice. And yeah, for me, Pisces rising, the motivation is all about touching something that goes beyond our everyday. So
That's
Pisces rising is
beautiful.
like they're very interested in the spiritual world.
Yeah.
They want to know what it's all about. What does life mean? And so it's very kind of big picture and very spiritual motivation.
Mm,
So they're looking for meaning.
beautiful.
Hmm.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah.
So, is there also, I feel like I've seen you talk about this of the elements of each one as well, as that's also helpful
Yeah.
to understand. So, like whether it's a fire or an earth, water or
Yes.
air.
Definitely. Yes. I love this. I do a whole module on this in my Midheaven magnetism program. This is powerful stuff because sometimes we can get lost in the nuances of the signs, but if we just simplify it and look at the elements, you're going to see a type of leader that you are. So I have four types. I have the stabilizer, which is earth energy, Midheaven. So you
Mhm.
would be a stabilizer, which is like what it sounds like, someone who wants to keep things stable and practical and likes to go slow and steady
Yeah.
and yeah, all those kind of things. And then you have the air midheaven, which would be the connector. So if you are, oh wait, no, sorry, the innovator, not the connector. The connector is the water one. So the innovator. So the innovator, air, midheavens are people who want to make change, and it's all about
Mm.
change, change, change. And then the water sign midheavens are the connectors. So it's all about heart, emotional connection to people.
Yeah.
And then the fire midheavens, I call, why am I blanking on it suddenly?
This is your
Maybe.
one.
Yes, I know. Oh, the activators, of course, the activators. Yeah.
Oh my God, I bet. And I actually, that's right. I remember seeing this, and lots of my sessions are called like soul activations and soul
Yes.
activating. And I'm like, oh,
There you go. I mean,
oh,
when
there's
I,
something in
yeah, I've
there.
been, I like, uh, what's the word? When I was in, oh, why is my brain like forgetting words all of a sudden? Glastonbury. Thank you. I was in Glastonbury and I was, like initiated as a priestess there. And like, I was like, what kind of a priestess am I? I'm like activation, awakening. It's all about
Wow.
that. And it's a natural thing that people who have this fire energy
Yeah.
in their own heaven do, is that we are just here to wake people up. We're here to like get them going.
Yeah.
And so, if you think about it as a leadership style, as an activator, it makes a lot of sense that like your programs, your courses, your coaching, whatever service or product you're offering is going to be about like like giving people motivation, like
I
getting
love
people off
this.
the ground, getting them into action,
Yeah.
which is very different from the earth.
Yeah.
sign Midheavens, which is more about stabilization, grounding, bringing people more calmness. We do
Yeah.
the opposite things. And so if you're looking to work with, a coach, you want to know what am I going to get, right? Like
Yeah.
you kind of need to know, like, am I looking for an activator coach, or am I looking for a
Yeah,
stabilizer
true.
coach? Am I looking for calmness, or am I looking for motivation? Like, because it's going to be a very different experience, working with
Yeah.
people who have these different emphasis, that it's just coming through naturally.
Oh my God, I love this. And also, if you're looking, because I know a lot of people kind of in this space that listen to this podcast are also trying to work out what they want to do, and just knowing
Mhm.
the element of your midhaven can really help
Yes.
support that, in like whether you are meant to be an activator or you are meant to do something that's
Yeah.
got more of the earth energy or the water energy or the air energy. So that's actually
Yes.
so helpful, I think, for even if you're not entirely sure what you're doing with your skills yet and you're kind of looking to understand that.
Definitely. And again, it's more about like really turning up your magnetism, because people are already wanting this from you. Like
Mhm.
when people come to me, they want to get into action.
Yeah.
I'm not here to necessarily help people like heal wounds from the past. I'm
Yeah.
definitely here that there are people who are very good at that.
Yeah.
I am here, and you will do healing in
Yeah.
my,
Yeah.
containers. But what I do is I get them like into action. And so when people come to me, they're like, okay, I'm ready to go big. Okay, I'm
I love
ready
it.
to, launch this thing. Okay, I'm ready to leave my job. I'm ready to call in my soulmate. Like it's always some kind of big moment of
Yeah.
like action.
Yeah.
So
I love
yeah,
that. What
yeah, it
what do
makes
you reckon
sense.
is more of the healing then? Would that be the
Water.
water? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be more water and earth. Water and earth are more of the you might say like the yin energies, which is
Okay.
more about, yeah, calm, harmony, stabilization, looking back in the past and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Mhm.
love that. Oh my God, it's so good. I just feel like there's so much in our
I
chart
know.
that just
Yeah.
gives so much
I know,
clarity.
and we're only really talking about like one placement.
Yeah.
There's so much more, I
Yeah.
mean, of course in business there are other aspects as well. So, your moon sign and how you emotionally regulate yourself working in business is important. Your Mars sign, and which is more about kind of like how you structure your day and take action, your
Hmm.
Venus sign, your relationship with money. Of course, there's other planets and other aspects, and we haven't even touched on human design.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah,
Human
it's true.
design, I mean, is like a whole other thing. And so you are a complex being, is what I'm saying, is that everyone has a beautiful complexity. We all have inner tension. We all have opposite sides of ourselves that are working together. And I always say that your uniqueness is your superpower.
Yeah, it's
And
so
so you want to understand, I am very good at simplifying things. I'm a 2-5, so in human design. So I'm good at like taking complicated things and simplifying them.
yeah.
But then remember that you are complicated. Like there
Yeah, it's
are
so
these,
true.
yeah, beautiful nuances to you, and that's all a part of
Mm.
your brand. But the leader, the point of the spear in your brand is your midheaven.
Oof, I love this. Yeah, because I think that's one thing I think all the time as well, and I'm sure many can relate, is there's so many different energies in my chart.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's like they don't necessarily fit together. Like, how does that work? Like I've got a lot of Libra,
Yeah.
but I've got 6 planets in Capricorn.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm half Capricorn basically. So like,
Nice.
and then I've got the Leo, and it's like how, but like you're so right. It's we're not meant to be simple beings.
Yes. Yeah. We're not meant to be just one thing. And
Yeah.
I think that, it's nice because more and more, I think with the way that marketing and social media are developing and evolving in our culture, like authenticity is king, or
Yeah.
queen, shall we say.
Yeah.
Authenticity is queen. We want to know you as the real you,
Mhm.
and branding is very important, and being yourself is very important. So you're never just showing one side.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. I mean, in terms of still kind of being magnetic,
Hmm.
is there another planet that holds a lot of
Yes.
answers there? Yes, I
Yes,
love that answer.
Jupiter.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So Jupiter, I think Jupiter is one of those kind of like overlooked planets. I once heard an astrologer say that Jupiter is the planet that has the least amount of books written about it. And I think
Oh,
that is a
interesting.
travesty. It is a travesty. I don't understand. People think that Jupiter, again, it's like the midheaven is so overlooked. I don't understand how these
Mm,
is there a conspiracy here? I don't know. But
I think
the
so.
2 points that are connected to fame and abundance are the ones that no one talks about. And I'm like, what? So I'm on a mission, clearly, to bring this to everyone.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
this is important
And I mean,
work.
I think in astrology, Jupiter is definitely overlooked. In human design and the gene keys, Jupiter is prioritized. And I think that's really cool.
Oh,
So in human design
interesting.
and the gene keys, it's like the sun is really primary, and then Jupiter is the next most kind of important planet. And
Mm,
yeah, so Jupiter is shows us like another aspect of our leadership energy and magnetism,
okay.
especially when it comes to like being seen, and especially when it comes to us kind of being an expert and like being a teacher, because Jupiter is a natural, has natural like teaching energy. It's like the
Mm,
classical ruler of Sagittarius and Pisces. And so it is very kind of like, yes, I have wisdom that I want to share. That's very
yeah.
Jupiterian thing.
Okay.
And Jupiter is often called the planet of luck, the planet of wealth, the planet of abundance,
Yeah.
considered very lucky. Lucky is one of my words of 2024. So, really connecting to the Jupiter energy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. People should look at their Jupiter and where it like what house it's in and what sign it's in their chart. And especially in your human design, pay attention to which gate it's in and what line it's in. This
Okay.
is going to tell you a lot about how you're going to attract your people, especially the unconscious Jupiter.
So, question: what if they're very opposites, your midhaven and your Jupiter? Because I think my Jupiter's
Jupiter.
Cancer.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah, Cancer and Leo are not opposites. Oh
Well, they
no.
feel it. I feel like
No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, Cancer and Leo, I mean, Cancer and Leo are like
you got the heart, I guess. There's that.
they're kind of
That's
like twin flames. Like they like
ah,
might fight a lot, but they also love hard, you know? Like
I
they're
love
great. It's a
that.
great combo. Yeah. Very fiery. I mean, because like, we've got water and fire.
Yeah.
And water and fire together are quite dynamic. Like it
Mhm.
can be great and it can also be challenging. But they're right next to each other. Whenever you have signs that are next to each other on the zodiacal wheel, then they actually have a lot in common. And so
Okay.
but the thing that I would say that Cancer and Leo have in common is a love of the inner circle. They're both fiercely loyal to their people, and they have this aspect of like home and like friendship that they really prioritize. So that's a really cool like vibe, the two of those.
Yeah.
So if they're so your Jupiter you said was in Cancer, is that what you
Yeah.
said? Okay, yeah. See,
Yeah.
that's a nice combo because it's kind of like you're probably very gifted in making people feel like they belong and also energizing them, motivating them, and making them feel like anything is possible, but we're going to do it in a playful way.
Oh, well, I like that.
Yeah, that's
Maybe I
good,
need to
right?
get a refund on my Leo quite yet. I'll give it a chance.
Good vibes. I love this. I worked with a lot of people with Leo Midheaven actually, and it's very fun. But I think the challenge with Leo Midheaven is that our society does not like I think our society what am I trying to say? Our society kind of like promotes Capricorn midheaven qualities, but
Hmm.
not Leo. Because like Capricorn is like, oh, work hard,
Yeah,
diligent,
that's true.
dot all the I's, cross all the T's. But then Leo is like the I's and the T's don't matter. Like what matters is your heart. Like,
Yeah.
it's like how do you feel? Like, are
Yeah.
you having a good time? Like, are you being courageous? Like it's so
Yeah.
it yeah, I think that Leo is incredible energy and it's kind of I think it's going to come more into play now that we're in the age of Aquarius and Pluto's in Aquarius
Mhm.
because this is the opposite sign and therefore a partner sign of Aquarius. Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun to be around people who have powerful Leo energy. You feel unstoppable, like you really can do anything.
Oh, I like that. What's your Jupiter? Out of interest.
Pisces,
Oh,
Pisces. Yeah, so
oh,
my
you've got
Jupiter.
a lot of Pisces going
Oh,
on. Love
yeah, I
it.
know. Well, just my rising and Jupiter, but yes, I have
Oh, yeah,
it's
but they're
strong
two big
Pisces.
ones, right? So
Yeah, two big ones. Yes, two big ones. So yeah, my Jupiter and Pisces I think is really interesting. It's very much this spiritual path, like whatever job you do, you need to feel spiritually connected to it. As a leader, you
Mm,
need to feel spiritually connected to your people. There's kind of like a higher purpose aspect of it
yeah,
and like a higher kind of values side of it too.
yeah.
Often people with strong Pisces have very strong imaginations. Like I'm writing a fantasy book, and so I'm indulging that
Oh,
side of me.
stop.
Yes,
Oh
in
my
like
God.
side projects and things. And yeah, we're very like imaginative, kind of like visual people. So yeah, I really enjoy this aspect of myself too. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. Is there any other signs to take note of that could affect your midhaven or have an influence in your midhaven?
Let's see. So we talked about elements, we talked about the signs. Um,
Because your midhaven's always in the same house, right? Am I right in thinking
yeah,
that?
it's always the cusp right between the ninth and the 10th
Okay,
house.
so
Mhm.
everyone's will be in that house. So that doesn't
Everyone's will be there. Yeah, if you're
okay.
using the Placidus house system, which is what I recommend. So yeah, everyone's will be at that cusp.
But then
Um,
what with the Jupiter and the house, how does that then influence
yeah,
the
yeah. So I
energy?
mean, I am an identity coach and my Jupiter is in the house of identity.
Oh wow.
And
Okay, so
yeah, and relationship with
wrong place.
self. And so, your Cancer is going to be in the, is it in the 11th house or the 10th?
I've got
Your
I don't know.
Jupiter. So if yeah, no, it's okay. So if your Jupiter is in the 10th house, then your like career and helping people with their career will be an aspect of your leadership. If it's in the
Mm,
11th house, then community and creating community and connecting people like via a network will be a crucial part of your leadership.
I think it's 10 from memory. I will
Okay.
check
So
that
you work
after,
with
but I think it's
do you
10.
work with like entrepreneurs mostly?
Yeah, or people that
Yeah.
want to. So that totally,
Want to, so yeah, that makes a lot of
yeah.
sense.
Oh
And so
wow.
and I mean I would recommend as like a business strategy for you making sure that you have like some kind of membership or community as well,
Mm.
because that's very Cancer leadership energy is also very community oriented.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I would think about that.
And North Node, my Aquarius North Node.
Aquarius, yeah, okay, yeah, Aquarius North Node, innovative. You're here to be innovative. Mhm.
And is Aquarius community as well? Or have I just made that up
Yeah,
actually?
it can
Oh,
be.
it is.
Yeah, it can be. Aquarius is weird. Aquarius is the weirdest sign, and we love it. And it has it has several paradoxes. I call it the Aquarian paradox. And so one of the paradoxes is that it is simultaneously about being of service to the community, and
Mhm.
it's about holding up the uniqueness of the individual.
Oh wow,
So
God, yeah, real paradox.
it's both. Yeah, it's very
Interesting.
odd.
See, I love how you talk about these things because you just give such a different, great perspective, and I'm here for
Yeah.
it, basically.
Oh, thank
I'm a big
you.
fan.
I'm glad.
Big fan.
It's so fun. I could like talk all day about this stuff. I think astrology is just another language, it's the
Mhm.
cosmic is just another language that we use to understand, the human experience, and that we use
Yeah.
to understand history, and we use to understand culture. And it's so great. I love it.
Yeah. No, and you're clearly very, very great at it. You've
Oh,
guessed
thank
a
you.
load of my things. You've already guessed it right. I'm like, I don't know how you do that, but you've done it. Um, so here for it. And you
Oh,
do
thank
human
you.
design as well, don't you?
Yes,
You're
yes.
not
Human
just
design is
astrology.
amazing. For people who are new to human design, the way I see it is astrology is really good at identifying like our gifts and our strengths and our personality and the different parts of our lives that are going to kind of play a big role in our story.
Mhm.
And then human design is really good for like the strategy of, okay, what do we do with it? And how do we do this?
Like
Um,
implementing it.
Implementation,
I
yeah.
love
And yeah, so if you're new to human design, I've got lots of content on this. I'm adding more to my podcast about this. It's incredible, and I recommend that you start with your type, which will show you what your strategy is. There are 5 types in human design. We're both manifesting generators. Yeah, big energy. And then I recommend looking at your profile lines when it comes to branding.
Mm.
Profile lines. Yeah, major. Mhm.
That's like the 1-3 or the 2-5, right?
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I'm a 2-5, you're 1-3. Yeah, these two numbers like hold the keys. Like there's so much in these two numbers that are related to how you kind of how you like perceive and walk through life.
Mm,
Um, and therefore how you can be of service to other people. So it's they're great in terms of informing what kind of offers you have
yeah.
and how you work with people. There are some people out there that, everyone told them to do one-to-one and they hate it and they would rather do group. And usually you can see that in the profile lines, which is really
Oh,
interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. It's a really interesting one. And a lot of times people are fighting their profile lines. Like they think that yeah, they think that like the profile lines are like their weaknesses. I don't know why. It's like we all get this kind of conditioning. We get this conditioning that like the way we are is not correct and we have to change it. And human design and astrology are wonderful ways of getting back to who we really are
Yeah.
and saying like, no, 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 this is good. Like how
Yeah.
you were born is beautiful and it's good.
Mm. But that's what I said to you about like, the Midhaven, which was so lovely hearing it, is because there's a part of you that knows, but that's maybe not been expressing that part of you because,
Yes.
for whatever reason. That's what I think
Yes.
is so
Yes.
beautiful about it, is it's like a permission slip to own
Mhm.
a part of you that you kind of knew, but you like needed that permission.
Yes, because often, like when we're younger, we may be raised by parents who have very different designs to us,
Yeah.
very different astrology. And so we see them as role models and we think, oh, well, that's how you do it. Okay, so that's how
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do
So
things.
true.
And we unconsciously take on a lot of, rules about how we think we're supposed to be or act or
Yeah.
prioritize in life. And so the cosmic systems can just help us kind of remove some of those layers and just get back to our authentic selves. And it makes it more clear. A lot of times when I do sessions with people or I'm working with my one-to-one clients, it's like they're like, I knew it. Some part
Mhm.
of me, it's more of a validation.
Yes.
That I knew this, but I thought it was wrong. I thought I was
Yeah.
doing it wrong.
So true.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great.
And that's how I felt about the Midhaven, like I said to you
Mhm.
earlier. And so many other parts of my chart. I think that's what's so beautiful is it's validation, isn't it, to own
Yeah.
certain aspects
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, it's validation and just being like, yeah, like just, do you. And it's easy to say that without having the clear direction because
Mm.
it's easier said than done is what I mean. It's when people are like, just be yourself. And it's like, but which
Yes, I don't know who
which
that
self? Like which
is.
which self would that be?
Yeah.
Like
There's
which
different
aspect,
options.
yeah, which aspect of this? Oh my gosh. And if
Especially
anyone,
being a woman.
oh my God, yeah. Oh, don't get me started.
Four
Yeah.
different sides just within that.
Yes. Yes, I mean, there's a whole level of conditioning that men have as well, but I think especially being a woman or non-binary, like anything other than like kind of like the binary like
Yeah.
examples of like gender, we're conditioned. There's so much conditioning
Yeah.
on like how we're supposed to be, and it's hard, and this is why I love people and I think astrologers in general love people because why we study
Mm.
them so much. Like we're like,
So
because we want to
true.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to understand ourselves and then we want to understand others and then we want to be in relationship with others in a
Yeah.
positive way, whether that's our clients or our loved ones or our kids, and just the more that we know, I think the more clear we can be about
Yeah.
embracing ourselves and other people and the differences between us.
Oh my God. I love this. Thank you so much. I feel like just even those two, like Jupiter and Midhaven, can
Hmm.
give either if you're entrepreneur, like so much direction in how to
Yes.
maybe express that, or even like I said before, if you're not sure what you want to do, there's so much direction in
Yes.
just these two planets. I love it. I'm
Yes.
obsessed.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for inviting me. It's been so much fun having this conversation.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. So how can, if people want more of Midhaven or just
Yes,
more of anything from you, because you've got
cosmic
so much,
stuff.
so we haven't even touched upon human design, but you're just so full of knowledge. I'm here for it. So
Oh, I love it.
how can people work with you? What do you have available, basically?
Perfect. Yes. So I have my course Midheaven Magnetism, which you can, it's 5 video modules. There's a bonus one about your human design type, which is really great. And then workbooks and things like that to support you in unleashing that fame point, that side of you that is ready to be seen and to be visible. So I would check that out. The link is in my bio, or you can go to cosmicqueenhq.com and find it.
I'll pop it in
And
the show
then
notes.
Okay, yeah, pop it all in the show
I'll
notes.
do it all.
Yeah, all of it. If you want a reading, I have a reader on my team named Nicola. She's incredible and she does astrology and human design readings. She's been through my programs and she is just so talented. Like she's really amazing
Wow.
at synthesizing all this together. And of course, I take people on one-to-one, and I also have the Crystal Mastermind beginning March 12th for entrepreneurs who want to really get their business going and utilize the cosmic in their business. So,
Oh my God, I
yeah.
love this.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'll put everything that you just said in the show notes. And you also have a freebie, right? I feel like you
Yes,
said
yes.
that
I almost
earlier.
forgot. Yeah, the freebie. So there's the free ebook as well.
Oh, that's
So
it.
it's called the Cosmic Leadership Archetypes ebook. So it's free and it has a page. Well, it has a little bit about how to use it, and then it has a page each on the 12 archetypes. So you can use that as like a little cheat sheet for yourself, a
Yeah.
way to inspire you in your work and in your brand.
Love this. And that'll go into deeper what you've said in this episode as
Yeah.
well, wouldn't it? So
Yeah.
perfect. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
Yeah, my
you.
pleasure.
Is there anything else that you wanted to share, or do you feel like you have shared everything?
No, no. I mean, I just if you are new to the world of the cosmic, don't be scared. It's amazing. Dip your toes in the water's fine. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
it's a great
true.
place. I know that sometimes when people, read about, astrology online, it can seem kind of limiting, or, there's a lot of like jokes and kind of making fun of the different signs.
Mm.
But there is another side to astrology. There's a side of it that is very compassionate, loving, and it's about celebrating you,
Oh,
about
I love
celebrating yourself.
that.
And so just remember that. Mhm.
Yeah, and empowering.
Empowering, very empowering. Yeah. I always say I practice empowering astrology.
Oh my
Mhm.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Ah, thank you so much. Honestly, thank you, thank you,
Yay. It's so nice to be here.
thank you.